This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.
Go right there, another block by Miguel.
Wide open is Regulish. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play!
But then re-aggravated it again just the other day preparing for this game. So they did bring in Mike Bell, a 37-year-old, 6'10" forward to replace their point guard.
So that will be the world import lineup for the Wolf Warriors. It's going to be Stephen Thomas, Julian Boyd, and Mike Bell. As you mentioned, Noel, Mike Bell played last year, averaged 16.9 points, and he will be needed tonight as we take a look at the scores from last game.
Of course, that 92-89 victory by the Formosa Dreamers. We all know that Formosa was down double figures at halftime. Chai Chen leading the way at the half, but Chai Chen did not score in the second half. Jaron Young with a ridiculous triple-double in this game, including this monster jam over Stephen Thomas. Look at this, 23 points, 22 rebounds for your point guard, along with 10 assists. And Jaron Young also had that lone three-pointer to beat the shot clock in the first half. But Jaron Young has really been the oil that steers the engine for the Formosa Dreamers in their wins.
And Jaron Young's 2020 triple-double was the second in league history last season, achieved by Malaysia's Winston Shepherd.
Yeah.
And we have to also talk about Anthony Tucker. He really pushed the pace for the Formosa Dreamers in the second half.
Well, in the first half, he only had 4 shot attempts, only 6 points. But look at this, missing a triple-double by just 3 rebounds. Anthony Tucker came to life in that second half. The 11 assists normal, but I was talking to Coach Kyle Julius. He wants to see more points coming from the former world import in the ASEAN Basketball League. And they just might get it today because he's been tasked to be more aggressive on offense. Of course, let's see if the zone defense is still alive for the Wolf Warriors.
As you mentioned at the start of the coverage, no Douglas Herring. He has been the motor for the Dreamers. Look at his stats, Noel.
Yeah, 23 points, 6.2 rebounds, 9 assists. That the 1.8 steals actually is lower than his league-leading 2.4 from the last season. They will be missing him. Now, the big question is they said 1 week out with that hamstring injury. Did they start the 1 week today, Friday, or did they start the 1 week on Wednesday when he first went to the hospital? That's big because if it was last Wednesday, he can play next week when they host Hong Kong and Saigon. If it's only today, Mike Bell is going to see a lot more time with the Wolf Warriors.
We will continue our pre-game discussion, but right now we head to our venue announcer for our lineups. Back inside the Sakai Gymnasium. Noel, when you bring in somebody like Mike Bell, who played here for the Wolf Warriors last season, but of course a different system, different coach, how will that play out?
Well, it's not really going to be a different coach here for Mike Bell. You have to remember that he did play for Hanoi and the Vietnamese Basketball Association under Coach Todd Purvis. And I was asking Coach Todd, why are you bringing in Mike Bell instead of a point guard? As we take a look at the keys here for the Formosa Dreamers, again, defend the shooters, let Tucker orchestrate, which he did a lot, and then feed Jaron Young, which they did a lot of in the second half. But going back, of course, to Todd Purvis, he coached Mike Bell in Vietnam, so he's very familiar. I was talking to him about not bringing in the point guard. He said if he brought in a point guard, he'd have to teach him the system. With one practice in, that's going to be very difficult. So it's going to be a lot of confidence boosting for the backcourt of the Macau Wolf Warriors here. And Mike Bell, despite only getting one practice in, he will be starting here today.
On the flip side, if you're the Formosa Dreamers, last game you were preparing for Douglas Herring. He wasn't able to play, and now you have to prepare for Mike Bell. How does that dynamic change for Kyle Julius and the Dreamers?
Yeah, looking at the next 5 games for Formosa, you can see there that they will be still on the road against Saigon. Going back to your question, we're talking about a team that is going to be now looking at more zone defenses. So they're going to have to get more outside shots in. But I was talking to Kyle Julius about that as well. He said that he doesn't want to settle for the first opportunity to get they get from the outside. If they zoned, and that's exactly what they did in the second half. They were able to do some penetrations. They were able to get a lot of layups from Jaren Young, including that really, really monster dunk that he had against Stephen Thomas. So they will be attacking the paint more, despite the fact that Mike Bell is in there extending that zone defense.
The starting lineups for both teams. Of course, the main surprise, well, not a surprise now, we know is Mike Bell in the lineup for the Wolf Warriors. Who will defend Bell if you're the Formosa Dreamers?
That's going to have to fall into the hands of Tolbert, actually. I won't be surprised if Formosa actually goes into a zone defense as well, just to study the movements now of the Wolf Warriors when they go into their offense. And, of course, for the Wolf Warriors, focus on Young. He tore them up for 23 and 22 in the last game, and then defend the fast break as well. You have to remember, in that third quarter, that was pivotal. That was when Formosa really blew this game open, and they were able to come back. And taking a look at the next 5 games here for the Wolf Warriors, they do have Fubon coming in this coming Sunday, so no rest in the horizon yet for Coach Doug Purvis and the rest of the Macau Wolf Warriors.
The Wolf Warriors, part of a 5-game homestand. They lost against the Dreamers in their first matchup last Friday. For Formosa, they won against the Slingers before going here in China. They won last Wednesday. How important is getting this win after their road trip?
Yeah, they want to make a 3-game win streak, and that would be the longest that they had this season. You have to remember, Formosa was the #1 team in the league last season, and it's right now sort of early still in the season, but if they can string together a 3-game winning streak, that will be huge moving forward.
And we are off. Tucker kicks us off with a jumper.
And that is something that Anthony Tucker has to do early here, be aggressive. Only 4 shot attempts in the entire first half of the win last Wednesday.
Here is Mike Bell. Pass inside, picked off by Young. Young is one of the better steal men in the ABL. Young floater short, rebound Bell.
And again, that's what Mike Bell and Stephen Thomas will bring together, their length in terms of the defense. And again, great transition defense. You have to remember that Stephen Thomas played 40 minutes in the previous game, and that's something a 38-year-old shouldn't really be doing, but they needed all his help with the foul trouble against Julian Boyd.
Here is Amigo Yang. Blows by Thomas, goes to Young. Short step, good.
That's a little too easy right there for Jaren Young. Not too much defense up top when he got past Scotty Ewing. That was it, easy 2 points.
5-0 start for the visiting team. Wolf Warriors need a basket. Chris Chentu is foul going to the cup.
Let's see if they give him continuation on that. They will not give him continuation on that. There will be a lot of pressure on Chris Chentu here today as probably the lone point guard. We all know Scotty Ewing, despite the fact he's about 5'5", 5'6", is not really a point guard, although he did have 8 assists in their last game. Chris Chentu will see a lot of minutes in this game at that point guard position.
Of course, we also have to mention Tang Ji Keng.
Yeah, coming off the bench.
A spark plug off the bench. Ewing misses on the triple.
Well, they need Scotty Ewing to start early, connecting on those threes. He did make 4 of them in the last game.
Quick whistle against Chentu. And that will be critical if he gets into foul trouble. As you've mentioned, not a lot of guard play for Coach Todd Purvis.
Yeah, and Coach Todd Purvis looking at the positive of this. By the time they get make that Doug Herring back, then they will be able to have a lot of confidence from the point guard or the guards of the Wolf Warriors seeing all of these minutes. And we're going to have I believe, an offensive foul here called.
I think it's a clock
technical
issue.
Oh, a clock issue. Of course, our officials here, our crew chief is Wing from Singapore and Prem from India. And again, our referee from Korea. So same officiating crew that did the first game, which is very rare in the ABL. Usually when you do games, even in a back-to-back, you change referees. But in this case, it's still going to be the same 3 guys. So I think did a good job in that first game. But let's see if they can, this early, there's already an issue that they have to resolve in terms of the clock.
If you're the players involved in this 2-game stretch, of course you build a rapport with the referee.
Yeah. And both coaches are actually approaching the referees pretty okay so far.
We're back to the action. We go to the corner. Yang wide open. Bottom. 8-0 start.
Remember that Amigo Yang isn't supposed to even be here right now. He has a wife and daughter that has a wife and child that he has to attend to back home. Right after this, he's flying back home. There seems to be a medical emergency that he needs to attend to. But right now, he's focused on this game.
Bell, first shot for the Wolf Warriors back. He misses. Wide open is Yang again from the other side. No go.
Well, they need to get some points going here. The Wolf Warriors already down 8-0. Nothing really going. Julian Boyd, this is actually his first touch on offense.
Chen 2. He goes to the post. It's Boyd versus Sucker. Boyd inside, back to Boyd. And the referee calls out of bounds.
Yeah, but Julian Boyd was stepping on the sideline right there. A little bit of a tentative start here for the Wolf Warriors. Yeah, you know you do have a new player in Mike Bell, but it's still the same system. So I don't know why they're still trying to feel each other out. If it's the same system, just run the system.
In the last game, the Wolf Warriors got the jump on the Dreamers actually.
Yeah.
It was only a second half push that catapulted them into the victory.
They led by as much as 14 points in the first half, the Wolf Warriors did.
Young, jumper. Doesn't get that to drop. Rebound, Thomas. Chen 2 looking up, trying to feed Boyd. He does. Boyd against Young to Thomas. First 2 points for the Macau Wolf Warriors.
That's going to be important because we did talk about this at the top of the coverage. Formosa might actually do a lot of zone defense. They're testing them early, and that basket by Stephen Thomas is important because that is an open spot in that zone that he found.
Jet Chang misfires. Battle for the loose ball. And won by Jaron Young and the Dreamers.
Again, Jaron Young not really giving up too much in terms of inches here. 6'7", Julian Boyd going up against 6'6", Jaron Young, a very tall guard.
Jaron Young had a 22 rebounds last game.
Imagine that.
Tucker has 8 on the shot clock. Yang, he shot a 3 earlier. Jet Chang's turn. Chang short stab, no. Rebound to Chen 2.
Yeah, you like the way the challenge is happening here from the Wolf Warriors on the perimeter, trying to make everybody work for their shot.
Boyd post up against Young. Terrific defense by Young. He gets the ball. Tucker to Young. Young. Short.
I sort of dodged the bullet that time. Everybody went down and clogged the lane. A lot of shooters outside for Formosa.
A lot of posting up so far for Macau. Here's Boyd once again.
Oh, did they count it?
Let's see if our referees counted. Yes, sir. Counted. Bang in the bucket for Julian Boyd.
And again, Julian Boyd attacking the top part of that zone defense. And Kyle Julius, I was just about to say this, that zone defense might no longer be working, especially on that top side. It looks like Formosa is going to have to make some adjustments in this timeout.
4 minutes into the first quarter, 8-4 for Formosa. Well, 4 minutes in, any significant adjustments by either team so far?
But right now, I don't think that zone defense is going to last very long here for Formosa, especially if they keep on fighting those seams. And we all know that the 3 world imports here for the Macau Black Bears, talking about Mike Bell, Stephen Thomas, and Julian Boyd, can shoot from about 15 feet away with great accuracy. So for the Wolf Warriors, they were just starting off a little tentative, but Coach Todd Purvis just reminding them right now, it's the same system, guys, just execute.
Here is Tucker. Finds Chang. Floater. Miss. Mike Bell secures the rebound, but stolen by Yang. Yang goes up. All the way in.
And he's testing the defense of Mike Bell. These two guys have never gone up against each other, but he'll probably learn later on that Mike Bell is one of the better defenders in this league, but great drive, aggressive drive, coming from Amigo Yang.
5.5 to play in the first quarter. Bell to Ewing. Ewing looks up at the clock. Hesitation dribble. Stops. Pops. Finish.
That's important. Very, very important right there. Scotty Ewing proving that he can also create off the dribble a little closer in the three-point line. He will be a marked man, and he was just proving why he's going to be a marked man today.
Jet Chang sees an opening. Yang cutting. Here is Yang inside to Young. Young goes up and in.
You know, Jaron Young is like a power forward trapped in a point guard's body. Able to post up. He's got great post moves and able to execute that time against Stephen Thomas.
Mike Bell. Top of the elbow, and that should be an offensive foul against Boyd. Now, last game, Boyd had 3 quick personal fouls in the first quarter alone.
That's right. He had one early foul of that same nature, an offensive foul, then had to commit a Judy foul and got called for a technical all in the span of about 5 minutes. So Julian Boyd, that has to be fresh in his mind right now, as we're going to have our first look now at Tang Ji King, who also had a great game coming off the bench against the Formosa Dreamers in their last game. For Tang Ji King, he actually lit it up for 6 of 11 from the field for a total of 17 points and a team-leading plus 10 and the plus-minus category, the only guy in double figures for the entire game, at least in that category.
And you can expect the backcourt of Tang and Ewing to carry the playmaking duties with Douglas Herring out.
Yeah, they have no choice but to play a lot of zone defense with this lineup on the floor.
Kenny Chen enters the ball game. They go to the Tucker into the corner. Uses the pick from Tolbert. Tucker. Kenny Chen, shot clock going down. Kenny Chen put back by Young. Miss. And the ball will go to the Wolf Warriors.
Again, that is just a great execution for the zone of the Wolf Warriors. They've scouted this team well. They know when to pounce on their shooters, when those shooters are going to start to penetrate. And Stephen Thomas actually just chased one of the shooters outside of the zone. So this is a very, very well orchestrated zone that they're running right now. This is going to be a problem for the Formosa Dreamers if they can't get their shooters free.
Here is Boyd in the post once again. Finds Bell underneath to Tang. Floater, no. Rebound, Chen. Picked up by Boyd. Here's Ewing. Both teams scrambling for the ball, fighting and clawing.
That time, Stephen Thomas was out of position. Doesn't jump as high as he used to, so he had to use his hands and got caught there for the loose ball foul. And Tian Lei is going to see his first action of the game. Remember, Tian Lei only played 8 minutes in the last game, had 11 points. And our first look now at Chai Chen as well for the Macau Wolf Warriors, replacing Mike Bell. The Tian Lei, of course, one of the legends of the Chinese Taipei national team. Now he's going to have to face up against a former CBA player in Chai Chen.
Here's that zone defense by the Wolf Warriors. Kenny Chen sees an opening, goes hard to the cup, denied. Chen put back good.
A little bit late that time from Chai Chen, trying to help out after Stephen Thomas did his job in denying the first attempt.
5-point game, 3.5 to play. Make that a 7-point game. So both teams trying that zone defense. 4 on the shot clock. Go inside to Boyd. Flips it up. Miss. Kenny Chen comes up with it.
Yeah, you know, for the Wolf Warriors, they're only missing those shots. They're finding ways to get in there, but how about this?
Jaron Young with the spin.
This is a better start now from Formosa from their last game. very aggressive, attacking the zone, knowing exactly where to attack as well.
Chai Chen tries a three, doesn't bite. Here's Sucker. Chen Lee. Wide open is Jet Chang. Could not make the defense pay.
That's very important for Jet Chang to be able to keep taking those shots. I was talking to Kyle Julius. It is very important because he did have those two key baskets down the stretch that preserved the win for them.
Stephen Thomas, no. Jet Chang was 0 for 4 from downtown before he hit the game-winning three. Kenny Chen all the way to the hoop.
Todd Purvis needs to stop this right now with a timeout. Transition defense is there, but ineffective against the very, very aggressive drives of the Formosa Dreamers.
How have they gotten this lead?
Well, they've just been aggressive from the get-go. It's attacking at every opportunity, pouncing on the transition, poor transition defense by the Macau Wolf Warriors. And for the Wolf Warriors, they're just not making their shots at this point. They are finding ways to get inside, but those shots just aren't falling.
Here they are on the offensive. Chai Chen posting up Anthony Tucker.
They got to find that.
There it is, but the ball goes back to the hands of Ewing. Ewing to Tang. 10 on the shot clock. Tang still has it. Tang with the shot. Way off.
Chai Chen was supposed to give a pick and roll somewhere there, but he just didn't do it.
Tucker to Tian Lei. To the corner they go. Out of bounds, says our referee.
Yeah, Tian Lei just make that Kenny Chen had his foot out of bounds. Again, for the Macau Wolf Warriors, they just have to execute. That time, I'm wondering why Chai Chen didn't give that up screen to free up Scotty Ewing to create something, or to make that Tang Ji Kang.
Here's Boyd against Jet Chang. Inside, Chai Chen. Still a miss for the Wolf Warriors.
Remember, Chai Chen made his first 4 attempts in the last game.
Tolbert to Kenny Chen. Three-pointer short, secured by Thomas. Coming up on a minute remaining, Chai Chen takes a three. Cannot find the bottom of the net. Boyd goes up hard and scores.
Good positioning that time there by Julian Boyd. And there's going to be a turnover here, so that's going to be an opportunity to get back-to-back baskets here for the Wolf Warriors. They are still playing at the Formosa Dreamers pace. And if Chai Chen can just probably see more of his teammates open, they could generate better offense.
Under a minute remaining. All Dreamers so far, 18-9. Thomas denied by Tolbert. Up ahead to Jet Chang. Soaring, but loses the ball going up. Kenny Chen saves it, and a foul against Tang.
And a smart foul there against Tang Ji Kang. That was going to be a 1-on-3 secondary break for the Formosa Dreamers.
And Jet Chang is upset on himself. He had a wide open lane, could not control the leather.
You got to give it also to Tang Ji Kang. He never gave up on the play. Knew there was going to be a layup anyway, but still gave chase, and Chang made a mistake.
Kenny Chen now. The ball goes over to the hands of Tian Lei. Back to Kenny Chen. Drives inside to Jet Chang. Was not expecting it. Tucker fakes, shoots, scores.
That's again an open look here for Anthony Tucker, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Boy, Formosa just having their way here in the first half, yo.
21-9, the biggest lead of the ball game so far. 7 seconds remaining. Thomas, whistle is blown. And the foul should be against Tolbert.
They call it on Tian Lei, yeah, because he was holding on to Stephen Thomas. He was backing down. Interesting to see Tian Lei and Jordan Tolbert playing at the same time. They usually come in for each other. So right now we can see that Kyle Julius trying to match up with the height being shown by the Wolf Warriors.
Julian Boyd, he had to put it up. Kenny Chen, will he get it on time? Gets his shot off the glass but misses. And that will do it in what has been a Formosa quarter, 21-9. A big lead for the visiting team. Back inside the Sakai Gymnasium in Zhongshan, China. Macau Wolf Warriors and Formosa Dreamers round 2. But in this edition, the Formosa Dreamers got the jump on the home team, 21-9. What happened in the first quarter, Noel?
Just the aggressive start, and it was fueled, of course, by the second unit as well here for the Formosa Dreamers. For the Macau Wolf Warriors, just a little bit of a tentative start on offense. Still lacking a lot of ball movement. Like that.
Ball stolen by Young. Young ahead, goes up and in.
Again in transition. Remember the third quarter of their first matchup just a few days ago. Every turnover that was committed here by the Wolf Warriors led to practically an easy layup for Formosa.
And a holding foul called on Tolbert. Wolf Warriors have not solved the Formosa defense here.
Well, Miguel is going to be coming back in, and Chai Chen is also going to take a seat here. Chai Chen has jacked it up 4 times out of rotation and has missed every time. And he's obviously upset that he's being pulled after just a few minutes in the game.
So lineup changes for both teams.
Well, it's rare to see Stephen Thomas take a rest. He played 40 minutes in the last game. But again, you do have a 6'10" Mike Bell in your lineup once again.
Boyd against Young. Boyd draws the foul on Young.
That's one direction that the Macau Wolf Warriors can look to try to get Jaren Young into foul trouble. Every time Julian Boyd tries to post up, it will be Jaren Young being his primary defender. Now, Jaren Young is an excellent defender, but again, if they can get him into foul trouble, that will help them a lot. Julian Boyd, those free throws aren't going to help them either. Those free throw misses, rather, aren't going to help them either.
Boyd only had 8 points on 4 for 13 shooting, hampered by foul trouble in their first meeting last Wednesday.
He only played 26 minutes, a little over 26 minutes in that game. Did not play the entire second quarter as well. But ironically, that's when the Macau Wolf Warriors built their 14-point lead.
To Wang inside. Hard foul given up by Chris Chen.
Again, Wang did not even get off the bench in the last game. We're talking about Wang Po-chi. Did not get off the bench in the last game. But is seeing a lot of action right now, a little bit of action right now. Scotty Ewing is going to sit down. Chai Chen is going to come back in. He's probably been settled down now by Coach Todd Purvis. You know, sometimes if you're so used to starting and then they put you off the bench, you want to explode as fast as you can. It worked last Wednesday, but Chai Chen has forced up 4 shots already coming off the bench. So probably he's been settled down right now.
Wang Po-chi knocks down the first. Couple of new entries for Formosa. Wang Po-chi, number 10, and number 8, Chen Yuhan. They both didn't see action last Wednesday.
And with a 15-point lead, you can actually afford to experiment a bit. Oh, another turnover. But they're going to call I believe, a kickball here. This should be the right call.
The body language of Macau is not good, and that is why another timeout is being called by Coach Todd Purvis. He doesn't like it, and they will need to talk it over. 24-9 in favor of the Formosa Dreamers. Everything working so far for the Formosa Dreamers. They are running and gunning and making defensive stops. And the Macau Wolf Warriors need a basket, and they need it soon.
Well, they need it right now on this offensive thrust. Chai Chen has a smaller guy on him, and they missed the pass into him.
Ball
Again,
stolen by Jaren Young. Young to Tucker, wide open for 3. Bullseye.
He is 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and the route is on as early as 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A big 18-point lead now for the Formosa Dreamers.
And the crowd here is stunned. They are silent. Floater. That is good. Finally a bucket for Macau.
And again, Chris Shentu's job as the primary point guard is very important. That includes that floater and as well as distributing the ball.
Let's see if that basket will get things going. But they cannot leave Tucker open. Cannot make it back to back. Wang rebound. To Chen. Back to Wang. Cannot control it. And ball will go to the Wolf Warriors.
What a great project to have. You know, Wang Po-chi stands about 6'6", and he's a youngster, obviously. So you need to get these guys going. You know, they can help you towards the end of the season in case some injuries do happen.
Two minutes into the second quarter. Wolf Warriors staring at a 27-11 deficit. Tang goes hard to the cup, draws the foul. The offense was going nowhere, and Tang took it upon himself.
Exactly, you took the words right out of my mouth. There was a post option there for Chai Chen against a smaller defender, but somehow Chris Shentu just couldn't find a way to get it in. And when they went to the weak side, Tang Chi Kang just saw an opening and just ad-libbed his way to free throws.
When facing a zone, Noel, what is your remedy? There are a lot of different opinions and different remedies, but in your opinion, what's one of the best ways to counter a zone defense?
Oh, the fastest way, of course, the corners are always going to be open in the zone defense. Get your shooters involved. that not being the case here. You have to look for those little holes in the zone defense. You have to remember, in a zone, you're covering a certain area, you're not covering a certain man. So you're not really paying attention to your man, you're just paying attention to your area. If you can find a way to get into that area where there are no people and get some open looks, they were able to do that in the first quarter.
And that's one way to beat a zone. Ball movement finds Wang all the way for a layup.
Boy, Wang has just also contributed here coming off the bench.
Here he is against Stephen Thomas. Thomas, though, would muscle his way and put back good by Julian Boyd.
This is the best time for the Wolf Warriors to mount a comeback. No Tolbert, no Doug, make that Jaron Young on the floor, and Anthony Tucker plays on the outside. So you got 4 locals trying to man the inside against the imports of the Wolf Warriors. This is their time to come back.
Boyd already has 7 points so far. He has half of the points, actually, of Macau. Cannot get the N1 play, though.
That is 3 missed free throws. Actually, there's also a free throw violation because he stepped over the line before the ball hit the rim. So that is very important also for Julian Boyd to get his free throws going. The best thing about Julian Boyd at this point, he's playing in the second quarter because he's only got 1 foul so far today.
Here is Tucker, the lone reinforcement so far for Formosa. Pass inside. Jet Chan could not handle it.
Kyle Julius has to stay with this lineup for as long as he can to build the confidence of his bench players there. You're talking about 2 youngsters, Tien Lei, the veteran, and Jet Chang, who had the heroics last Wednesday.
Dreamers still with the zone. Thomas trying to post up against Tien Lei. Tang, too fancy with the basketball, nearly loses it. Go inside to Stephen Thomas, who draws a foul against Tien Lei.
Tien Lei again out of position that time, had to give up the bump because he knew the moment Stephen Thomas caught the ball, he'd be in trouble. At least he's not going to be giving up free throws here, and Kyle Julius quick to spot that. So Jordan Tolbert is going to come back in. Tien Lei has turned into a role player. Remember, he was a starter for most of his career with the Chinese Taipei national team. But what a great role player to have. A veteran who's got a really high basketball IQ and does his job very well.
And he will take a breather as Thomas knocks down the first.
Now, Stephen Thomas, the only Wolf Warrior who played all 40 minutes in the last game, really had to earn everything in that game. Came away with a total of 9 points. I'm surprised he only had 9 rebounds in that game. He felt that he was already having a double-double as early as the first half. But Stephen Thomas, again, making these 2 free throws. These are important baby steps right now. This is only a 13-point lead being enjoyed by the Formosa Dreamers, and there's still a lot of time remaining. Remember, they were down by 12 points in the third quarter. And Macau Wolf Warriors were able to tie it up in the fourth.
Amigo Yang, who just checked back into the ball game. Wang Po Chi, miscommunication between Yang. Yang fires, bullseye.
And a lot of professional basketball players are going to make that shot if you leave them that wide open. Amigo Yang's got 8 points in this game.
And Wang Po Chi, a near steal against a veteran. Much to his dismay.
Well, this kid's still going to learn so much. And again, what a great project to have. If you're Kyle Julius, a 6'6" youngster, learning how to defend against one of the greatest players in league history. We're talking about Stephen Thomas, one of the top 10 players in the history of the ASEAN Basketball League. However, that foul puts them over the limit, the Formosa Dreamers, with still 6 minutes and 12 remaining here in the second quarter. This could mean a lot of free throws or a very long second quarter, although Thomas dismissed that free throw.
Thomas already with 4 points.
Yeah, they got to keep attacking right now. Take advantage of this penalty situation. I expect to see a lot of Chai Chen touches in the post.
Thomas goes 1 for 2. And Scott Ewing will check back in. And so does Kenny Chen.
I'm wondering why Chris Shantu's so upset that he's being pulled from the game. He wasn't able to get those entry passes into the post players who had smaller defenders on him. And now they're going to have to put Scotty Ewing at that point guard position.
Wang Po Chi
Oh, they're not zoning anymore. They're going man-to-man.
Wolf Warriors have left the zone. How will the Dreamers respond? 10 on the shot clock for Tucker. Tolbert goes up hard and draws a foul on Chai Chen.
Yeah, Chai Chen was inside the restricted zone that time. It's going to be an easy call for our officials.
So the switch from zone defense to man, an adjustment from Coach Todd Purvis. What do you think made him the adjustment?
Well, you know, he knows that there are a few locals in there who haven't really seen a lot of minutes. So by going man-to-man, it's like pressuring them in the half court. That can probably force a few turnovers and, you know, just the tentativeness. You know, you do have Anthony Tucker still in there, but when Anthony Tucker does not have the ball, there could be a lot of tentativeness in terms of the execution out there. Now, of course, they might go back into the zone when Jaron Young comes back in the game.
Jaron Young still taking a seat. And Tolbert goes 1 for 2. 34-17. Coming up on 5:45 to play in the second.
There you go. That entry pass, the Chai Chen opens up so many opportunities like this one.
Boyd, though, could not convert. Rebound, Tolbert. Back to Tolbert. Tolbert goes up. Could not convert. On the counterattack is Boyd. Boyd has Tang on the corner. Triple. Way off. And the ball will go back to Formosa.
Yeah, it's okay for you to miss that shot if you're Tang Ji Kang. You still got to keep shooting. That's one of the reasons why they signed you up on this team. Remember, Tang Ji Kang had 17 points last Wednesday. And, of course, that included a total of 3 out of 7 from beyond the arc.
We go to Wang. Amigo Yang takes a jumper. No, that's good defense for Macau. Scott Ewing waits for reinforcements. Lots of time on the shot clock. Thomas was rolling. There, they find him. Thomas all alone for the deuce.
Chai Chen has to be creating all of these opportunities on offense if Julian Boyd wants to stay on the weak side. Perfect timing on the pass to Stephen Thomas.
The ball movement was apparent there for the Wolf Warriors. Tucker against Sang. One-on-one. Tucker spins in the lane. Misses. Let's see if the Wolf Warriors can capitalize on this play and cut down the deficit. Ewing misses on the tray.
Now, probably a lot of people are going to say that's a bad shot, but you're talking about Scotty Ewing needing to get involved in terms of his shooting. That's what he brings to the table. That's why he got signed here in the first place.
Yang. Denied by Chai Chen. They go back outside. Here it's Sucker versus Chai Chen. Shot clock winding down. Tucker has to put it up. Way off. Boyd draws the foul. Great heads-up play from Chai Chen on the defensive end.
Yeah, he did have Scotty Ewing lining up for a 3 there on the other side, but if you can add more miseries in terms of foul trouble for Formosa, why not? Julian Boyd's free throw shooting has been pretty suspect in this game. He's usually quite good at that. But today he's already, he's missed, he's 1 out of 4 from the free throw line today.
It seems that the Wolf Warriors are making a living at the free throw line.
Yeah, check that, 2 out of 5,
from
yeah.
the field.
Yeah.
8 points for Boyd, 7 from Thomas, mostly from the free throw line.
That's also good, you know, for Boyd. If he can continue knocking down these free throws, it sort of calibrates his shooting arm as well. That's big.
Gotsu for 2. And Mike Bell will check back in.
We're going to have our first look now at Zhongshan Chao, who was actually one of the key rotation players last season for the Wolf Warriors. Brings a lot of defense on the floor. I'm surprised we're still not seeing Hu Yue on the floor. He played a lot of minutes last Wednesday as a primary defender to guys like Jaron Young and Jordan Tolbert.
Jong defending Tucker and a quick whistle.
Yeah, Jong got caught up in the screen that time, tried to fight it, and was caught for the hold. That's just the 13th foul, however, for Macau. They still have one foul to give with 3:38 remaining.
Tucker posting up Zhong. They did not go to that play.
Zhong's trying to lock up Tucker too much right now. There's a Tolbert pick in that area, and Zhong tried to fight it once again. Now, it's okay to be aggressive, but sometimes you have to be smart when you're aggressive. You know your job is to lock down the primary point guard of your opponent, but if you're going to do it in a way where it's a little bit illegal, might have to think twice.
2 quick fouls on Zhong. Here he is shadowing Tucker. Tucker gets away. Misses Mike Bell. And Ewing will walk up the basketball to go to Chai
nicely
Chen.
done.
Slicing his way. Could not find the bottom of the net. Zhong. Circus shot, no. Chai Chen put back, good.
Zhong's the first one going to tell you that's an assist. That wasn't really an attempt, but Chai Chen was in the area and cuts this lead down to 11.
Tucker to Wang Bochi inside. And the ball is stolen. Up ahead to Zhong.
Uh-oh.
And a bump from Kenny Chen. And Kenny Chen is protesting that it was Zhong who pushed him.
Well, Zhong's going to take some free throws right now. Zhongshan Chao, one of the crowd favorites, an energizer coming off the bench. Really did not see much action. Actually, did not see action at all in the last game. But you know, with Shentu not really, Shentu struggling right now to keep his position, Zhong might just take that away from him.
Zhong knocks down the first. He had 2 quick fouls, but that's his job, trying to hound Anthony Tucker.
Yeah, that's his job is to get into the opposing imports point guard. And he's done this last season as one of those utility players for Coach Matt Skillman.
Well, look now, it's a 9-point game. Huge second quarter for Macau. The Dreamers need a bucket here to preserve their lead. Tucker kisses it off the glass.
That's just pure talent that time for Anthony Tucker. Knew exactly when to release it as Chai Chen came close.
Here's Ewing. The Zhong. Wide open is Chai Chen. Lines up a 3. Rebound though by Thomas. Inside to
great
Mike Bell
pass.
with the sledgehammer.
Stephen Thomas using his veteran smarts to find his new teammate Mike Bell.
Tucker thought about the 3, but instead goes to Tolbert. Again, Chai Chen. Tolbert could not find the bucket. Bell.
The
And
question
Ewing has
is,
it.
the question right now is, how long is Jaron
Ewing,
Young?
3.
Yeah.
Bottom.
How long is Jaron Young gonna sit on the bench for Formosa?
Jaron Young on the bench with 2 personal fouls. 1:40 to play in the second. Tucker to Yang. 3. Swish.
Boy, amigo Yang is just shooting so well today. That's his 3rd triple of the game.
Mike Bell. Reverse. Short. He left it short.
Yeah, it looks like Tolbert got a piece of him, though, as he went for that reverse. He actually had a frontal assault right there. Opted to go reverse.
So 9-point game. 1:21 to play.
And still no sign of Jaron Young coming in. And, he does have 2 personal fouls, but you're on offense next, so probably he can make something happen.
The Dreamers were up 27-9 at the start of this period.
You're absolutely right. 18-point lead, now reduced to just 10. It was down to 7 just a few moments ago.
So it's 39-29, not 39-30.
Yeah, Mike Bell, he's 37 years old. I was joking with Coach Todd Purves. Do you know you have the two of the oldest imports in the league in your team? And Todd Purvis was just going, they have a combined age of 76. So it's going to be hard to coach them. But, basketball IQ-wise, it's a great find to get Mike Bell back, a product of Florida Atlantic. He was coached in Hanoi by Coach Todd Purvis. Actually averaged 37.6 minutes last season for the Wolf Warriors, averaging 16.9 points and 12.9 rebounds a game, 3rd best in the league.
Impressive numbers for Mike Bell. Way off from Tucker. Here, that's Bell with a rebound. Zhong goes up. And Tolbert was shooting, and then Ewing comes up with it.
Great trail job that time there by Scotty Ewing. This lead is down to 6, yo.
Under a minute to play before the first half comes to a close. Sucker jumper. Wait, doesn't find the bottom of the net. Rebound to Wolf Warriors. Sucker has been aggressive, but still struggling with his shot so far.
And you have to credit the defense, of course, of Zhong. Just trying to stay in his face. Tucker's forced up 3 shots in the last 3 possessions. Oh, great pass.
Chen, left-handed layup, good.
Who says Scotty Ewing is not a point guard? He had 8 assists in the last game, and he found Chen in stride for that easy layup.
Momentum has shifted in favor of Macau.
Oh.
Offensive foul. Zhong making things happen on a defensive end.
Kyle Julius is asking for a flop, but I think the referees were right on this one. Wang Po Chi was obviously moving when collision was made.
Zhongshan Chow picked up 2 quick fouls, but Coach Todd Purvis stuck with him, and now he's reaping the benefits. Yeah. Great defensive play there.
And what a pick from the bench here for Coach Todd Purvis.
Last 20 seconds, about a 4-second shot clock and game clock differential.
Amigo Yang didn't really have to do that though. Boyd was not even a threat in the area when Amigo Yang tried to pull him down. Now he's trying to confront our officials. You know, they've been in the penalty since the 6-minute 12 mark of the second quarter. And of course the Wolf Warriors have been capitalizing by getting to the free throw line a lot.
And Boyd has a chance to cut this deficit even more. Knocks down the first.
Remember, the score was 27-9 at one point. And again, the Wolf Warriors, you can't count them out. In fact, you can't count out any team here in the ASEAN Basketball League. That was the point that Kyle Julius was making to us the other day.
Boyd goes 2 for 2. And all of a sudden, it is now a 2-point game. Coach Kyle Julius will take a timeout. Last 14.2 seconds left in the first half. What has been an 18-point game reduced to a 2-point game, 39-37. Last 14.2 seconds in the second quarter.
But again, what happened in the first game that these two teams played, Julian Boyd sat on the bench, and the Macau Wolf Warriors made their run, and now it's a turn of Jaron Young to sit on the bench, and Macau's doing the same thing again.
Tucker to Wang.
Oh,
Ewing. Does he have time? Ewing heaves it up.
Oh!
The Hail Mary shot from Scott Ewing.
They're going to review this. But it sure looked like it left just with a fraction of a second left. And if it does count, that's going to give them the lead, though.
And they do count it. So far, the refs are still talking to each other, though. But what a way to end the first half. Wolf Warriors with the fight back Noel, the Dreamers started hot, but the Wolf Warriors woke up in that second quarter.
Again, Jaron Young not playing actually practically the entire second quarter. Spelled the difference in that game as Coach Kyle Julius stayed with his second unit a little longer than he probably should have, because that was an 18-point lead, almost erased if that Scotty Ewing half-court heave had counted. But, at this point, we were talking to team owner Joaquim Lobo. He's saying everybody is now awake. And that's exactly what the Wolf Warriors have shown there in that second quarter run to cut this lead down to 2, and they force another turnover.
But Young seals it right back. Young has 8 points so far. Here he is taking the 3 and making it.
They have a total now of 7 3-pointers in this game, going 7 of 14 actually from beyond the arc. Wolf Warriors is actually supposed to be their territory in terms of shooting threes. They are 0 for 8 so far in this game.
Stephen Thomas, Chris Shentu drives to Boyd. Boyd amongst the trees. But a referee says no basket.
Yeah, that's the presence of Jordan Tolbert changing the direction that time of Julian Boyd. That was actually a great pass by Chris Shentu. And again, we were hard on Chris Shentu in the first half. He has this entire second half to try and make it up. They need that point guard in that mix right now for the Wolf Warriors.
The biggest lead was 18, 27-9 in favor of Formosa. Tolbert denied by Stephen Thomas, but a foul is called.
Yeah, it must have been on the way down when Stephen Thomas's arm came in contact with that of Jordan Tolbert. Looked like good defense up top, but that would be foul number 2 now on Stephen Thomas.
Tolbert was 2 for 2 from the line earlier.
Yeah, actually, you're talking about free throws in that first half as Tolbert makes the first. Formosa went 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. But how about 13 of 18 for the Macau Wolf Warriors as Tolbert makes good on 2.
And that was how they got back into this ball game.
Yeah.
Those free throws, they slowed the game down and went to work at the line. Bell, hand off to Boyd versus Amigo Yang. Boyd lines it up. Rebound, Bell, put back, is good, plus a foul.
Now they have a problem here for Formosa Dreamers. Not only do they have to know where Stephen Thomas is at all times for those offensive rebounds, but now you also add a 6'10" guy with a 7-foot wingspan. And Mike Bell, great positioning there for the stick back and an opportunity for a 3-point play.
If you've just joined us, no Douglas Herring for the second night in a row. Herring has been listed in the injured list, and Mike Bell has returned for Macau. He played for them last season.
That's right.
Tucker hounded by Chris Shentu. Tucker, 10 on the shot clock, goes inside to Tolbert.
Now you have to know exactly where Tolbert is at all times, especially on that delayed pick and roll. Easy layup that time for Formosa.
Ewing attacks. You go to Mike Bell. Jumper off to the left. Tucker to Yang. Spots up a 3. Misfires. Shentu running behind the back. Loses control. And the traveling is called.
So yeah, when he lost control of the ball, tried to regain his footing once again, but no pivot foot had been established again. Dragged his pivot foot actually for that turnover.
2 minutes into the third period, it's 46-39 in favor of Formosa. Stolen by Boyd. Shentu on the break again, gives it up to Boyd. Boyd muscles his way inside, but stolen by Tolbert.
That's where the you have to stay aggressive on those fast break opportunities. That's how you got them into the penalty in the second quarter.
Jet Chang from corner knocks it down.
That's his job, to knock down those corner threes. And whatever energy and momentum the Macau Wolf Warriors established in that second quarter, it's slowly being erased now by Formosa.
We started the game 8-0, and now it's a 10-0 blast by the Dreamers. Mike Bell loses it up, and the ball will stay with Macau, but they have not yet scored here in the second half. And a timeout is called Coach Todd Purvis needs to talk things over. 10-point game, 49-39. Start for the third quarter for the Macau Wolf Warriors.
I remember, of course, in their first meeting last Wednesday, this third quarter was pivotal for the Formosa Dreamers. They were down 14 points at one point, 11 at the half, and used a really strong third quarter to establish a double-digit spread. Right now, they have that double-digit spread. Now, the question is, can they sustain it?
Inside Boyd,
Oh!
count it, plus a foul.
That's going to be number 3 on Jaron Young. That's a great design play by Coach Todd Purvis coming off that timeout on that baseline inbound. And again, Jaron Young is the primary defender of Julian Boyd in this game. That's going to be a decision time now for Kyle Julius.
Young and Tolbert have 3 fouls each. And Boyd completes a 3-point play. A much needed conversion for Macau. Tucker left open, bullseye.
Boy, he has only missed once from beyond the arc in this game. That is his 4th three-pointer. And every time you try to go under the screen against Anthony Tolbert, he will make you pay.
Tucker had 11 points at the first half. Boyd posting up Young. Bell inside for 2.
And that's what Bell brings for you right now. More inside presence as we have a steal here by Julian Boyd. Uh-oh.
Counter steal by Tucker. Tucker thought about the 3. Gives it to Young. In and out. Back and forth we go in this third period. Coming up on 6 minutes remaining. Chen misfires, rebound Young, ahead to Jet Chang. Jet Chang goes up, passes it inside. Tucker thought about the 3. Takes a shot.
Amazing.
And a swish.
Amazing. He doesn't need all that space to wind up for his shot, and that is three-pointer number 5 now for Anthony Tucker.
He sized up the defense and started out with a 3. Ewing could not answer back. Rebound though by Boyd. Thomas all alone for the one-hander.
The defense fell asleep that time for the Formosa Dreamers. They thought they had the defensive rebound, but Stephen Thomas not giving up.
9-point game, 55-46. Tucker, he's had the hot hand, spins his way inside and draws a foul on Shentu.
Anthony Tucker is almost automatic, especially from the free throw line. Well, I was talking to Kyle Julius about this. He needs more points, more aggression from Anthony Tucker. Yeah, he's a true point guard by nature, but they need his points to put away this very tough Macau Wolf Warriors squad.
Tucker was 5 of 12 from the field last game. In today's game, in the first half, he already had 10 attempts.
And these are his first free throws as well, as the Macau Wolf Warriors only held Formosa to 4 free throw attempts in that first half.
The former MVP goes 2 for 2. And the Formosa would need every point from Tucker especially with Tolbert and Young, each with 3 fouls. Ewing to Tang. Knocks out the 3.
That's his first of the game. That's actually the first 3-pointer for the Macau Wolf Warriors in this game.
Tang pounding Tucker. Ball is picked up by Young though. Shot clock reads 10. Young goes to the cup and draws a foul on Thomas.
That's going to be number 3 on Stephen Thomas. He's going to be in the same boat now as Jordan Tolbert. 2 fouls away from from fouling out of this game.
Young, despite hampered by foul trouble, had 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals in under 10 minutes of action.
You can add to that total right now. In this third quarter, the Formosa Dreamers have shot more free throws than the Macau Black Bears, so that's a step in the right direction in terms of trying to reestablish the aggression. Macau's already got 3 team fouls, only 2 for Formosa. Remember, Formosa got into the penalty in the second quarter with a little over 6 minutes to go, 6:12 to be exact. They're trying to keep their fouls in check here in the third.
Coming up on 4.5 minutes to play left in the third period. Here is Thomas. Wolf Warriors swinging the ball over left and right. To Tang. Back to Tang. Tang takes a 3. And rebound secured by Boyd. Dreamers are swarming the Wolf Warriors right now. Ewing has to put it up. Off to the side. Great defense by the Dreamers.
You're absolutely right about the word great defense. That's what Formosa is using right now to slow down the Macau Wolf Warriors.
Kenny Chen. Mismatch underneath. Nope, you can't get mid-pass against Boyd and Bell.
Oh, wow.
And Jaron Young slices his way inside.
That's such a crafty move there from Jaron Young. This lead is now starting to expand again, yo. It's at 12.
And Macau needs a bucket here. Thomas positioning himself inside. Stolen. Here comes Kenny Chen. Wild shot, but somehow gets it to fall.
Scotty Ewing had a hand on that ball, and Kenny Chen's upper body strength allowed him to make this now a 14-point lead for Formosa.
49-63. That's what Macau is staring at right now. Tang, left-handed shot, no. And the battle of the rebound, foul was called on Tang.
It's going to be team foul number 4 now on the Wolf Warriors. And Chai Chen, who in that second quarter also had some contributions in terms of offense, will now come in and play center for the squatter. Is that going to be Mike Bell playing center? As Stephen Thomas now has to sit down with the 3 fouls.
So Jaron Young sits down with 3 fouls. So let's see if the Dreamers can sustain this lead. Tucker, short stab, good.
Anthony Tucker now is starting to hum. His shooting percentage is way better than it was last Wednesday.
Ewing to Tang, quick trigger, short. Rebound, Jet Chang. Jet Chang pushing, finds Tucker. 3, no go. Rebound, Boyd. Wolf Warriors are running. Ewing. Thought about the 3, but then backs it up. Now attacks. They go to Boyd from the outside. Swish!
Second 3-pointer of the game now for Macau. They are finding their range, but they got to get some stops also on the other end. Formosa is just having their way on offense as well.
Tucker to Tolbert. One-handed throwdown.
Again, the passing skills of an Anthony Tucker is off the charts, and that's going to be an easy one for Jordan Tolbert.
A one-handed special from Jordan Tolbert off a beautiful feed from Anthony Tucker. Ewing counters with a 3.
Well, he needs to shoot those to keep that defense honest. They're clogging the lane already, so that shot was big to try and loosen up the defense.
Both teams trading blows here in the third, a minute and a half to play. Tucker to a cutting Jet Chang. And a foul is called as Jet Chang stumbles into the baseline.
Yeah, they just erased all of those A-boards down there at the baseline. It was a delayed call, but that was a correct call. as Jet Chang just got bumped into oblivion.
Anthony Tucker has been attracting the defense. He has been making his shots, but also finding his teammates.
The same thing that Kyle Julius was telling me about Anthony Tucker and Jordan Tolbert. These guys are still not 100% healthy, although Tucker does claim that Jones fracture that kept him out of to finish last season for the Black Bears is a thing of the past. But of course, you always have it on your mind. So Kyle Julius is just saying that these guys are still not at 100%. But this road swing that they're having, 2 games here and another one in Saigon, is going to be able to, and another one not only in Saigon, in Malaysia after that, is going to help them, get their confidence back.
Jet Chang misses on that last free throw. Up high and down hard! Ewing to Julian Boyd.
Scotty Ewing is now going to inherit the point guard position of this team at the rate he's going.
That was a beautiful alley-oop connection. Ewing up high, and Julian Boyd with the throwdown.
Yeah, they were just looking at each other when they crossed the half court. And that was executed pretty well. Nothing Jordan Tolbert could do to stop that.
Tucker at the line. Tucker now with 21 big points.
That's actually now up to 22. Yeah, after that free throw. I'm trying to search my memory banks. I don't remember the last time I covered a game where Anthony Tucker missed a free throw. Really, I don't think I've covered a game where he missed a free throw. He's 88%. I wonder where the other 12% went.
Ewing wide open though, but could not convert. Kenny Chen versus Boyd. Tucker with 2 screens, uses the one from Tian Lei. Tucker goes up and draws the foul. Anthony Tucker is taking over this 3rd period.
And Anthony Tucker has now understood the defensive philosophy of Zhong. Zhong just wants to stay close, and he just beat him off the dribble that time. And now he's looking over to Zhong and saying, "How'd you like that, young man?"
In case you missed it, these 2 players, Tucker and Zhong, were going at it in the 2nd quarter. But this time, Tucker gets the better of that matchup.
Well, this lead is now up to 16 points again.
Boyd. Pass to Bell, picked up. A counter seal. Boyd.
Oh!
Jamma.
Another assist coming from Scott Ewing.
Dreamers running. Kenny Chen misses. And we are off to the races. Boyd opening. And a foul is called.
Well, if that's on Tolbert, that's going to be his 4th. Let's see if they call it on Tolbert. Yes, they do.
Boyd saw daylight and wanted to hammer it down, and Jordan Tolbert had to give up the foul.
Now, this could tilt the balance of this game, with Jordan Tolbert now picking up his 4th. Jaren Young on the bench with 3 fouls, and Julian Boyd back at the free throw line.
Boyd was hampered with foul trouble in the game on Wednesday. Here he is contributing to his team. Boyd with 22, trying to keep in step with Tucker's 26.
That's his first miss since the first half.
25 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Dreamers in full control. Tucker, he's hot the hot hand against Zhong, 1-on-1. Chen Lei, 3, bullseye!
He torched him for 3 of those last Wednesday.
Time winding down, Tucker loses it. Dreamers in full control. It is now a 16-point game. Anthony Tucker with 26 points. Dreamers up 76-60. 4th quarter coming right up. fourth quarter action between the Macau Wolf Warriors versus the Formosa Dreamers here inside the Sakai Gymnasium. Yoyo Sarmiento on hand together with Noel Zarate. Anthony Tucker took over in that third period, Noel.
Well, again, Anthony Tucker did come away with 26 points, but the big development here now for Formosa is that Jaron Young, who's going to start this fourth quarter, picked up his third foul in the third quarter, and 4 fouls now for Anthony Tolbert. So we did see earlier that the Macau Wolf Warriors clawed their way back from 27 to 9 down to almost take the lead at the half. They were just down 39 to 37. So again, anything is possible at this point, but Formosa just played a really great third quarter.
Chai Chen starts us with a 3. Misses. Rebound, Boyd. Too short. Tucker, he has been the man of the moment. Ahead to Jet Chang, beautiful find. Chang, reverse.
That's going to be another assist for Anthony Tucker. And Jet Chang might not really be ringing the bell from beyond the arc, but he has contributed now, restoring an 18-point lead, matching the largest in the game.
10th assist from Tucker.
Ah.
And a steal from Anthony Tucker. Tucker tried to hand it off to Jet Chang, but the Wolf Warriors saw it.
Yeah, Chris Shantu was playing the passing lanes well, so they're going to get this one back. That's a rare turnover for Anthony Tucker, actually, in this game. And the coach, Todd Purvis, is still keeping Zhong in the game as the primary defender against Anthony Tucker. But Zhong has also now taken over. I was about to say taking over the point guard position. It still belongs to Chris Shantu.
And here is Shantu. They cannot feed the ball inside to Thomas. Zhong takes a jumper and knocks it down.
That's a step back 3. How about that one coming from Zhong?
Tucker uses his pick. Tian Lei open. Misfires. Thomas corrals the board. Ahead to Chai Chen. Strong drive. He bulldozed over Jet Chang. Is that against Jaron Young? Yes,
it is. Oh, wow.
A ticky-tack foul as Chai Chen was driving to the hoop.
And Jaron Young is also limping a bit after the collision with the bulldozing, as you said, bulldozing Chai Chen. Is going to get to the free throw line now. Now Kyle Julius might be losing, at least for the moment, 2 American imports. And he's going to have to rely on his locals on this one.
At the start of our coverage, one of the keys to the game for the Macau Wolf Warriors was to defend Jaron Young. He had 23 points, 22 rebounds, and 10 assists last Wednesday night. And here he is hampered by foul trouble.
Yeah, Chai Chen missing 2 free throws, though.
Amigo Yang to Tucker. 1-on-1 versus Thomas. Tucker. Not that time.
You gotta admire Stephen Thomas coming out of the middle to just challenge that 3-pointer.
Chai Chen sidesteps his way inside. Jaron Young did not want to pick up the foul.
That's right. He just turned Jaron Young into a pylon that time. Kyle Julius has to make a decision right now whether or not to keep Jaron Young. He's going to be ineffective on defense.
8 minutes left in regulation. 13-point lead for Formosa. Jaron Young spins his way inside, then the layup is good.
But he is going to still be effective on offense, that time turning Stephen Thomas into his personal pylon.
Zhong looking for an opening, takes the 3, misses it. Dreamers pushing ahead to Jaron Young. Misses on the dunk. Jet Chang to Young. Gets the 2 points, not the dunk, but still counts for 2.
Yeah, but Jet Chang did the right thing. Jaron Young sort of got embarrassed by missing that dunk, trying to get it back for his teammate, and Young now restores a 17-point lead for Formosa.
A huge lead for the Formosa Dreamers. They are up 82-65. And if you're the Wolf Warriors, well, how will you get back into this ball game?
One stop at a time and one basket at a time. You know, there is no such thing as a 17-point shot in basketball. So they just need to do it work for them in that second quarter. You know, stay aggressive, get Formosa into foul trouble. Jaron Young is still on the floor coming out of this timeout. So that is a point of attack now. Young's got 4 fouls. You got to make sure that he gets Chai Chen on the post-up. They're going to zone all day because of the defensive problems now for Jaron Young. And that should open up guys like Chris Shentu and Scotty Ewing from the outside.
Miguel Yang tapped the ball out of bounds, preventing that inside pass to Stephen Thomas. Shentu, 10 on the shot clock. Finds Chai Chen. Chai Chen for the inside bucket.
You know, Tian Lei himself does have 3 fouls as well, so didn't want to pick up a 4th one right there.
Yang to Tucker. Back to Yang. 8 on the shot clock. Yang.
Oh,
and
wow.
knocks it down off the dribble.
Amigo Yang deserves a medal for his performance here today. That is his 4th three-pointer of the game.
Thomas. Bothered, and Jet Chang on the counter, denied by Boyd, but the ref says that's a goaltend, 2 points for Jet Chang.
Yeah, that obviously came off the glass already when Julian Boyd tapped it. This is the biggest lead of the game now for the Formosa Dreamers, 87-67.
20-point game, Chai Chen with the deuce.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing right now. He's taking it strong. You know, every possession that goes through Chai Chen, he's going to score. Now the question is, can they get some stops?
Anthony Tucker.
Wow.
Bull's eye.
Anthony Tucker, you're right about saying he's in takeover mode right now. 29 in the game, hardly even breaking a sweat doing it.
Offensive foul on Julian Boyd.
That's going to be his second. Remember, he was slapped with a technical foul last Wednesday. He better watch it right here.
Yang with the heads-up play. Drawing that offensive foul. Here's that play once again.
Now he got tied up that time and just did it in front of the referee, pushed off against Yang in front of the referee.
5.5 to play. Dreamers up 90-69.
That's an offensive foul going the other way.
Things are getting chippy. Remember, this is their second meeting in 3 nights. They last met last Wednesday night, so these two teams are very familiar with each other.
Well, Tian Lei just got whistled for his 4th. So you got 4 players now for Formosa with 4 fouls.
Boyd, step back, Jay. Couldn't get it to fall.
Now there's still 5 minutes and 15 remaining. So again, Chai Chen doing the right thing. Every time there's an opportunity to post up and score, he's going to do that. You want to get them into the foul trouble, into a penalty situation. At this point, they do have 3 team fouls.
Chai Chen, jumper, no. Rebound, Thomas. And Jaron Young wanted no part of that, and as Thomas got the 2.
Jaron Young is now starting to do some mathematics here. They're up by 19 points, less than 5 minutes to go. If they keep on slowing it down and scoring at the last minute, then they should be able to still pick up this win.
Anthony Tucker to Tian Lei. Left wide open momentarily, but Jet Chung takes the 3. Misfires.
Got to be smarter with that in terms of their shot selection.
Ewing found an opening. Floater, no. Dreamers racing down the court. Jaron Young, circus shot, no.
Oh, they got the numbers going the other way.
Ewing takes the 3. Yes, sir.
It's like a layup for Scott Ewing if you give him that quarter court shot with nobody near. He doesn't even take layups during the layup line. He just shoots from there. And that lead is down to 16.
4 minutes left in the 4th. Wolf Warriors hoping to mount a comeback. Jaren Young drives inside, loses the ball going up, and a foul against Chai Chen.
But he's the one acknowledging it at this point, at least. And they're going to give it to him. So Chai Chen's going to pick up his second foul.
Should the Dreamers hold on, they were on a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, and that would actually make them the hottest team in the league right now, because all of the teams that had active winning streaks, the Kuala Lumpur Dragons, the Mono Vampire, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, all absorbing losses this week. We're not quite sure about what's happening over there at Macau, though, but last we checked, it was a 12-point lead at the end of 3 for the visiting Taipei Fubon Braves against the Macau Black Bears.
Jaren Young, despite the foul trouble, 20 points so far for Jaren Young. He had 23 the other night alongside 22 rebounds. Knocks down the second.
Yeah, we have confirmation of what happened there in Macau as Ewing knocks down another 3.
So the comeback bid still alive, but time is not on the side of Macau.
Yeah, it was a 100 to 85 victory for the visitors from Chinese Taipei. You're talking about the Fubon Braves getting a win over the Macau Black Bears, and another 3 by Formosa.
Jaren Young providing the points so far. He will let go Chai Chen. Easy bucket for Chai Chen.
And you're doing the mathematics right now if you're Jaren Young. You just need a few key stops, and if it's going to be Chai Chen bulldozing, you'd rather let him have the basket than pick up your 5th foul.
Under 3 minutes to play. Young back-to-back 3. Not that time. Ewing pushing. They should go to whoever's guarding Young, actually, as Boyd switches it.
I'm not quite sure there's still enough time to mount a comeback right here, but this defense has to be more stifling than it is right now.
No pressure, no trapping so far from the Wolf Warriors. And Young to Tucker. Tucker was instrumental in that 3rd period blast.
Yeah, but Tucker's also scoreless here in the 4th quarter so far, or make that only 3 points in the 4th quarter so far. He's chosen to let his teammates get more of the points.
Jet Chang, left-handed layup is good.
We should call Jet Chang the 4th quarter guy. He was quiet the entire game. He had 1 field goal in the first half, but here in the 4th quarter, he has scored repeatedly, and he is now trying to put this game away.
Chang was the hero in last Wednesday's game. Knocked down the go-ahead basket with under a minute remaining. This time providing the points in the 4th.
And gave them an insurance 3-pointer as well. Now Jet Chang, BYU product, has been around actually. Played in the Philippines in 2015 as well. But he's a great pickup here for the Formosa Dreamers.
Ewing, floater. No. Ball will go to the Dreamers. And looks like Kyle Julius is sending in his reserves. It is a 98-81 game. 2 minutes left. Jet Chang, Amigo Yang will both take a seat. Tucker and Young still in it.
And initially he was going to send in Jordan Tolbert, but then when he saw that this lead could be insurmountable already, it's time for the locals to get some experience points. There's 31 for Tucker.
Now, the Dreamers will pick up this win, barring any miracle. They will improve to 5-5. And as we've mentioned, they will go on to win their last 3 games. So from a 2-5 record, suddenly they are on a hot streak.
And they are the hottest team in the league right now. No other teams won 3 straight.
Now, Noel, we've seen the Dreamers these past 2 games. What jumps out to you? What has made them successful so far?
Well, right now it has been Anthony Tucker realizing now that he can be a huge part of this team. Initially, when they got Anthony Tucker in the middle part of, well, the season already started, but they got Anthony Tucker. You have Jaron Young and Anthony Tucker sharing the ball, and these two guys need the ball to actually be successful. So I was asking that about how you're going to split the duties here with Jaron Young, and Anthony Tucker says there shouldn't be any problem because we both like to win. So I'm sure they talked amongst themselves on what kind of compromise they're going to do. But Anthony Tucker's presence, you can't discount the fact that he is a former import or world MVP. And that's really huge. He should have been playing for Mono Vampire if he hadn't gotten injured. So Mono Vampire's loss is now the Formosa Dreamers' gain.
Minute and a half to play. Tucker still in it. He has 30. He still has 29 points.
Well, he should have 31. He had a layup earlier.
Yeah, the score has not been updated. For the Wolf Warriors, as they take control of the basketball. And that about sums up the Wolf Warriors' night. Started off slow and ended slow. And this loss would give them a 3-6.
Yeah, right now they're on a losing streak, and the sooner they can get Doug Herring back, the better for them. We love Mike Bell and all, but they still need that point guard presence. Remember, in their 3 wins, Doug Herring had great performances there. And without a point guard, this team's sort of lost. You got Chris Shentu, you got Zhong, you do have Scotty Ewing doing a few point guard chores as well, but it's still different when you have somebody like a Doug Herring knowing the system, directing traffic. And the sooner they get him back, and hopefully they get him back next week in their game against Saigon, which is also going to be a homestand, and it's back-to-back. You have to remember that they don't have rest adjusting after the Saigon game next week, as we see this move again coming from Julian Boyd. I'll make that. They have Hong Kong first on the 15th, and then they get the Saigon Heat on the 16th. So back-to-back homestands here. This is a team that has played the most home games in the ABL so far, and they have only won once at home.
Wolf Warriors actually in a 5-game homestand, including last Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they will regroup and face the Taipei Fubon Braves, who are visiting on Sunday.
And remember that Taipei just picked up a big win today against the Macau Black Bears, 185 on the road in Macau.
So if you're Coach Todd Purvis and the Wolf Warriors, back-to-back losses, tough losses, and you're facing against OJ Mayo and the Braves, what's going to be your message as they go into the dugout after this game?
Well, they beat them before. That's the bottom line. That was their first home win. That was against the Taipei Fubon Braves here last December. So they beaten them before. Of course, they did have Doug Herring in that game. But there were a lot of stuff that they did in that game that they could still resurrect. Of course, we know that Taipei is going to be adjusting once again. But they may have the components to just come away with another home win against the Taipei Fubon Braves. There's a term that we use, you're going up a team that could just beat you at any day, a team that you have difficulty beating even if you're stronger than them. So let's see what happens on Sunday.
For the Dreamers, their next game will be on January 12 versus Malaysia. A home opener for the Kuala Lumpur Dragons at the Mabas Stadium.
That's going to be interesting because the Formosa Dreamers are going to be going up against Will Artino, the guy who led them to that #1 record last season. And I was talking to Will Artino when we were in Saigon, and he was saying it's not really going to be a revenge game, but it's going to be sweet.
So, read between the lines of Will Artino. That should be an interesting matchup on January 12th.
It looks like the Dreamers still have to jack up one more shot here. There still is a difference between shot clock and game clock, and of course one of them, they would like to all be credited for scores here. I guess they're going to give Chai Chen this one. No, they're going to give it to Zhong.
Zhong reverse, and that will do it here at the Sakai Gymnasium. Your final 100-89 for the Formosa Dreamers. Back-to-back wins here in China. Third straight win overall. Noel, it was a lopsided game. Big fourth quarter push by the Dreamers. what happened in that second half for the visiting team?
You said it actually in the third quarter. Anthony Tucker was on takeover mode. Anthony Tucker will finish with 31 points, now starting to flex his muscles. He's now starting to get familiar with the system and comfortable with his team. So again, this is going to be moving forward. That combination of Jaren Young and Anthony Tucker is going to be leading the Formosa Dreamers to greatness. Let's just hope that they can stay healthy. Let's see if Jordan Tolbert can get healthy enough by the time they get to the next game. But it has been an impressive 2-day stand on the road for the Formosa Dreamers.
On the other end, for the Wolf Warriors, no Douglas Herring due to a hamstring injury. They brought in Mike Bell. Didn't really work out. What do they need to do in order to get them ready for the Taipei Fubon Braves on Sunday?
Well, they have very little time, less than 48 hours to get ready for that game on Sunday. They have to work with what they had. I mean, Chris Shentu has to really own that point guard position. Mike Bell, you know, we all know him as a diesel starter. He needs to start off really strong, and that gentleman who just made that layup right there, Chai Chan, needs to be a big factor in terms of offense. Stephen Thomas, Julian Boyd, they did their jobs here today. Scotty Ewing also should shoot probably a little bit more, but it has to go now through Chai Chan if they want to get anywhere against the Fubon Braves this coming Sunday. But that's going to be an interesting matchup. A team that they've already beaten here at home, their only home win, and they're going to get them again this coming Sunday.
And that will do it for us here. Our coverage of the 10th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. The final once again, Formosa Dreamers 100, Macau Wolf Warriors 89, Dreamers on a hot streak. For my partner Noel Zarate, this has been Yo Sarmento. Join us on Sunday once again for the Macau Wolf Warriors versus Taipei Fubon Braves. ABL rides to greatness.
Go right there, another block by Miguel.
Wide open is Regulish. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in!
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.
Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play!
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.